up, and welcome to another episode of the Back of the Class podcast. So is this 23?
24.
24?
It's the Kobe Bryant
Is this
edition.
the, about to say, is this the Kobe?
Ken Griffey
I got messed up
Jr.
because we did a bonus Game of Thrones one, so now we're off.
Yeah, thanks for that, guys.
It's been 4 shows without all 3 of us, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be a long one, so just buckle in.
Buckle up,
Because
yeah.
we got a lot,
Sit back.
a lot to discuss. Anyway, I am the Esteban Serrano,
I'm Juan.
I'm Zach.
and we are the Back of the Class. And on this episode, we're going to talk about the biggest topic, probably, the Joe Budden versus Drake, who seems to be MIA right now. Big K.R.I.T dropping a 12-track mixtape, 1 track at a time, and announcing that he is no longer a Def Jam artist.
Hallelujah.
Should we be taking Riff Raff seriously? Let's talk about that. In the Flex Zone, we're going to talk about some NBA off-season moves, some crazy shakeups that have gone on, as well as something that has the nerd community buzzing. Iron Man is now a black girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
people
will
are
be
pissed.
soon.
And so we'll talk about all of that. Now, if you are a longtime listener to the podcast, we appreciate it. We'd love for you to rate, subscribe, and leave a comment so Juan can have his ego stroked a little bit one time.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that.
And now, without any further to do,
Ding, ding, ding.
Zach, I'll let you set this one up.
Oh, me. Joe Budden didn't like views. He spazzed about it on his podcast. It was unbearable, I thought. And now, I don't know how many months after,
Right.
two months later, he put out...
That's not why, Zach. He put out a diss track because of 4 p.m. in Calabasas or whatever that was. 4 a.m.
And how many weeks ago did we talk about that? A month?
Yeah. Well, you made it seem like he was so pissed still, butthurt by this horrible album that he.
Well, I'm coming in.
Well, also, yeah,
disappointed
like,
there,
but that was, yeah.
he put out a diss song called "Making a Murderer." It was fucking 6 minutes long, and then this week he put out a second one called "Wake," and they're both a lot of lyrics about Drake and some about Meek Mill and
Some about Jay-Z, which was one
Yeah.
of my favorite. And some about Joe Budden, which was another thing.
Yeah, I enjoyed both. And I knew since the first one, Drake was never going to respond because what is he going to, like, Drake is a talented rapper, but he's not a lyricist, wordplay, like fucking Budden is. He's just not. That's just the reality of it. And
So he's outmatched this time because he had no problem responding to Meek
oh
Mill.
yeah, he's one of those like I'll go at you and I know I can win. I mean, but like I don't know because when he had his whole spout with Common, he went at Common, but like he did it subliminally in like different songs here and there, and one could say Common could wrap circles around Drake, maybe
But
not,
didn't.
Which-
Which really pissed me off. It
Yeah.
made me really not like Common for about good.
It's like how are you gonna
weeks.
come at Q back in the day? How are you? Who else did he fucking beef with like in like the late '90s where they
I don't
had
remember. All I
some back
remember
and
is I
forth?
see the bitch in you.
Yeah, like how you gonna do that and just not come at Drake? I don't know if he feels that they have the same fans now that Common's in these kinds of movies that are kind of more towards the women audience. So maybe he's like, well, I don't want to piss those people off because those people who watch my movies, and if I don't have those, then ain't nobody watching my movies.
I don't know why, but he could have definitely put
Yeah.
the nail in the coffin
Yeah.
years ago.
So I mean, just to close
So
the
you guys
point,
like
I didn't
these
think he was.
songs?
I like him just because
I agree.
the spirit is, it's competitiveness.
Yes.
And he's not going at him like, I'm going to shoot you when I see you. I'm going to punch you in the face when I see you.
Right.
He's just going at his material and telling him like, yo, you sound like you're just not trying, and everything he said about views. And then he's calling him out. Is he calling him out by name? Like straight up? Not, right? Because he's not name dropping. Like, Budden, he never says Drake's name in the
now
raps.
he uses a sample of Drake talking about how
But he
great
doesn't
is.
say his name like straight out. Like,
Right. No, but he calls him
Doesn't he
Graham.
say
He does
Aubrey
a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
or
Graham
something in there?
references.
Yeah.
So there, we know who it's about. But like my
100%.
favorite part about this is, Drake releases Back to Back, which is a platinum selling, Grammy nominated diss track
Right.
against Meek Mill. And we were so disappointed in the lack of exchange back and forth in that battle. And I'm pretty sure Drake thought that he had a good pass, that nobody dare jump out the window and call him out ever again. And then here we are again. And not only here we are again, but Budden is brilliant enough to use the Drake formula against him in that he dropped two records in a row. He's like, yo, it's been 5 days. Where y'all at? Like, that was a very Drake move right there. Like,
and Drake was very quick to come back at Meek after that whole shit.
Oh, with the quickness.
It was super quick. So for him to not even mention it for 5 days just shows that he's just not, and it's smart because he knows if he goes toe to toe, he's gonna get fucking ripped.
He's gonna get destroyed. Now, another thing that I love is that you can't out meme Joe Budden. Joe Budden, just as Drake is the human meme. There's so many. Dude, when he was playing kickball in my neighborhood, that kickball thing had been memed all around the world, like that Dada outfit that Drake wore, in whatever DJ Khaled video that was. But these are the most sensitive rappers on the planet, the most emotional rappers, the most sucker for love rappers on the planet, battling. But they're also some of the most lyrical, some of the most respected, in the game. So it's a great, great time. I'm hoping Drake will respond. Juan doesn't believe he's got it.
I don't think he's going to.
I don't either. And I thought the line, I waited 5 days. It's like, no shit, you waited 5 days. He wasn't going to say something in 5 days. He's probably never going to say something. Like, don't brag about something that was a given. I mean, and I get it. It's nice that it's a little lifted.
Well,
I don't
is
know.
it a given,
This
though?
thing is just so super boring to me. I don't know. It's like, make some fucking material. Go make some music that exists in its own space rather than
Well, he
come out.
has, he's dropped material. I
Recent-
mean, obviously not, of course, not at the level of Drake. 'Cause
But just
you
don't
compare.
come out of the blue with, like, a diss. I mean...
It wasn't out of the blue, though, because...
Well, no, not context. In the scope of your music, have some other music going. Like, have something people can go listen to. Have some new project. It's like
You mean, diss him while you have something cooking?
Right.
Because then that's just
Or
opens
just-
the argument, you're just dissing me because you have a new record coming out.
No, what he's saying is the only reason
I would
that you're the
prefer that,
topic of
though.
conversation is because of this record, not
Yeah.
because you got other hot records.
yeah, it
and
feels
now you're
it
in
feels
this beat.
leechy to me, man. It's just like
I think it's an opportunistic a moment right now. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are tuning into his podcast after this, and after the whole, I think his album was terrible type of,
But
stuff.
that was a while ago.
Yeah,
And
but-
he's had that podcast for a while.
Agreed.
And when he said the stuff he said about views, that was well documented. And it was the next week it was like whatever. He went to his next episode. I think Drake dropping the subliminal hits on that song is all right, so then you're gonna drop subliminal shit. I'm not like that shit. I'm just gonna go straight at you if that's how we're gonna fucking play it.
Right.
I do agree, it's fucking Drake. You're coming at the dude who's on top right now, who's album just hit built. He just broke fucking records.
yeah, it's the third longest #1
Yeah,
rap album ever.
But I don't feel like he's doing it to leech off, and I don't feel like it's easy for you to go at somebody when you have music coming out because there goes the argument oh, you're just trying to create hype for your shit. The fact that he doesn't have anything new just shows that he legit felt some type of way.
And can we also mention the fact
I
that
see
he's
that.
not coming at him with music until Drake first sent shots
Yes.
through music. So if it was the podcast only, and then he came out on top of that,
Too
then it
much,
would
right.
But Drake sent the first shots
Yeah.
with the Calabasas record, and Budden is just what else does he have going on right now? No
Yeah.
offense to him. He's got the podcast going on. I'm sure he's. I
But
know
he
he's
even said it.
working
He
on
said
his
he was going to
last
stop
tour.
doing music. He's like,
He
yo, I'm
ain't
done.
And he thrives for putting artists in there, for putting rappers in their place. This is the perfect opportunity. Hope we see some more of it. If not, I'm just going to enjoy the next 14, Drake diss records from Joe Budden every 5 days. I'm sure we can count on another one.
You know what I like is that Joe doesn't. The whole shit that happened when he battle rapped on TV and got destroyed.
Right. Right.
You know, most rappers have such an ego that they'd be like, yo, I'm not showing my face
Never doing that
out
again.
here again. I'm not going up against anybody because that could just absolutely just put me in a coffin. Right?
Right.
He doesn't give a fuck. Like, yeah, whatever, it happened. Moving on. He put out another fucking. I do think he has a project coming out with A-Rap music though. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And he had a mixtape a while back that he dropped as well. But I really do feel like he was just like, he just felt challenged. Like, all right, I just said how I felt on a podcast about how you sound uninspired on this record and I'm not feeling it. And then you come out and drop this song and then you start fucking throwing subliminals that I know are at me and other people.
Right.
I'm not other people. I'm going to fucking respond and say how I fucking feel.
'Cause I ain't scared of you.
Exactly. And then I love that Meek Mill try to like slither his way like
Right.
in and out and shit. And it's like, dude, like you're not in this conversation anymore.
And you've already gotten a lashing.
Yeah.
You don't need another one.
And after like Budden's tweet where it's like, dude, you're about to die twice.
Right.
He hasn't said like that's it.
That
There's
was all that
nothing,
needed to be
so.
said.
Well, I'm glad people are getting entertainment out of it.
Are you not entertained?
I'm not.
Zach is not entertained, guys.
And I listened to the Megan Murder one yesterday multiple times yesterday, and I read through the lyrics one time, and I was still just bored. But I'm in the
Wow.
minority here.
All right, well, let's talk about something that you are excited about.
Oh, yes. Big
The
Crit.
King Remembered in Time. Big Crit.
Yes. Did you guys know Big Crit is only 29? I thought he was like a mid-30s sage,
Man, he's a young
you know?
boy. 1986.
He is a sage, but he's young, yeah. Well, so Tuesday, yesterday? Tuesday? Tuesday, out of the blue, he just said, I'm doing something 12 for 12. I'm dropping a song. I'm doing a freestyle every hour from noon to midnight. And they were all like huge songs. He started with that part, the Schoolboy Q and Kanye
part?
song, which, I know Juan
beat
loves
is
that
so
one.
That's so
Yeah.
hard.
That song in general is great because they both do fucking ill in it, but that beat is just
That part.
it makes you want to grab this mic and just bang it on the wall.
So, he did that. He did By Chance, another back to the
Oh.
class fave. Drug Dealers Anonymous. He did 2 Drake songs. He did Wicked, the Future song. And he did Real Friends, the Kanye song. So they were just all really good, especially Hype, the Drake one. And then at the end, he said, and first of all, he did make those free downloads too. So he made this a mixtape that you could get. And at the end, he said, I'm not on Def Jam anymore, by the way.
Which is Can I just go on a limb and
Why
say
are you so excited? Why are you so enthusiastic about
because
him
we could
not being
interview him
on
now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, sorry people, that's a little insider information joke, but
Word.
can I just go on a limb and say, is he probably the most underrated, or if not on the top 3 underrated rappers in fucking rap for like the last couple of years running? Because I
Yeah.
don't feel like he's in the
conversation.
or just in the general casual consciousness of hip hop.
I think he's so on an island all his own. Because you can say, he's kind of in the vein of a J. Cole where he produces his own stuff and he's kind of conscious along the lines of a Kendrick Lamar. But his sound, being that he's Southern, he owns his Southern roots, being that it's a very soulful sound, and also being a Big Crit fan, it took me until Catalactica, in my mind, for him to actually nail the sound that he should be making. Now, the mixtapes before that were amazing. The album before that was good. But Catalactica was like, you've officially nailed it. You've officially taken Outkast and UGK and dropped them in Memphis and made some Big Crit. Like,
I just love that he does a lot of sci-fi and like
yes.
that kind of feel. Like nobody really does that
Storytelling,
shit in hip-hop.
the whole
and
conceptual.
and I'm a sucker for that stuff. And
Yes.
but I feel like he was on Def Jam. They weren't trying their best to put him out either.
Yeah.
And it's another story of we'll sign you
Right.
and just put you on the shelf because we don't want you to shine more than our fucking cash cow. You know what I mean? Like,
or just in the vein of Def Jam, like, we are the quintessential rap label. So we're going to pick up all the hot rappers. Now, if that pans out to anything, then good. But if not, there's still the Def Jam brand is that we picked up these dope MCs. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, we all knew. I mean, I felt like with the first album that it wasn't going to work. With the kind of music that K.R.I.T makes, it's too sample heavy. It's too niche. Like, it wasn't going to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, for a Def Jam who's putting out designer. Like, you putting out designer. Shit that no one could even understand, audibly, dysfunctional. and you have Big K.R.I.T, who is like prolific. Like, so yeah, that just that just
part.
doesn't work. That part that just doesn't work for me. But I'm excited for K.R.I.T to be solo, not with Def Jam anymore, because I feel like now he'll have more
freedom.
But I feel like being a part of Def Jam was good for him in the sense that he built relationships with people like us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're always going to be media. The media, real hip hop media, is always going to be Big K.R.I.T supporters.
Yeah.
Because when you meet him, he's a genuine good dude.
Super cool
You know,
dude.
he remembers you. You know, he reminisces with you about stuff that you've done, and then it's a joy to be around him. He's never been jaded, even though whatever he was going through with his label, he never let that impact his relationship with the press.
Yeah.
And now he's free, and we're going to champion him, and we're going to support him. But like, yeah, man, the music that he makes is so good. I
Yeah.
agree with you 1,000%. One of the most underrated rappers.
And
that
again,
are
another
out.
dude who's not scared to try new shit. Like you
Right.
said, it took him to K.R.I.T for you to like, but like everything before that, he was experimenting with like
Right.
everything.
Right. And it
And-
wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the stuff that was mixtape material was great because he didn't have to clear it. He didn't have Def Jam or whoever else saying, I don't know if this will work with radio. I don't know if this will work on the album. He was just doing it, man. And it was just so good. Now he won't have that problem anymore.
And it's cool that he did this he did this classic mixtape style over all these big beats, and
Right.
he's very known for producing all his own stuff.
Exactly.
So
Mhm.
he just was showing really what he can still.
Now, was the
even do.
rollout impressive to you? Like, in terms of 1 hour?
Yeah,
12 for
I
12.
thought that was really exciting, and
It's refreshing.
Better than putting out like 12 at once.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think for him, it was a cool new way, and I was checking every hour to see like what's he gonna do next, because I wanted to see what beats.
So
he
that
gonna
was
choose.
brilliant, too.
And it's a good opportunity to keep your name trending for 12 hours.
Yeah.
And like you hear one and you're like, oh man, I
What
need to
did
hear
I
the next
miss?
one. And then once it
Exactly.
comes out, you're checking for it. Because I was on
Yeah.
Reddit on Hip Hop Heads all day,
Uh-huh.
and somebody was posting like, here it is, here's number 3, and I was like, oh shit, let's go.
Right.
So I think it was fucking genius, and
Yeah.
I think people are gonna start copying that shit
Oh, yeah.
because it just makes
Oh, yeah.
so it works on so many levels where you keep your name trending.
Right.
You keep people checking for your shit for a whole day,
Mm-hmm.
and at the end he just put it all together, and he's like, here, you could download it now. And it's like it's
Yeah.
fucking brilliant,
And
man.
especially compared to like just the age of all the teasers and the announcements about the
Yeah.
thing and
The
the, sample
rollout
of the
plan,
thing.
yeah.
the
This
Instagram
came out
like
of blue.
posts of like
Yeah.
a fucking cryptic photo, and
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, great job,
Yeah.
Big K.R.I.T.
It's a
Love it.
great way to use social media for, like, not even anticipation, but for like capturing everyone's attention.
Yeah.
Versus like the lead up. I'm about to drop this.
Yeah.
4 days till this.
And it was just fun. It was
Yeah.
it was fun. I love that. So
Agreed.
yeah, it's called 12 for 12. You can get it on his SoundCloud, .piff, probably other places. So
Yeah, man. Congrats, K.R.I.T, for dropping some dope stuff and being a free agent.
Damn right.
Yeah, man. All right,
and
so
now
Peach Panther.
yeah, man, this has really been on my mind. And Zach, when you sent that email about Riff Raff and his country album,
yeah.
it got me thinking. Like, so Riff Raff came not too long ago to the offices, and we interviewed him about Peach Panther and about wrestling and a bunch of other stuff. And I did the interview, so I had to research a lot of the music and stuff that was coming out. And I can't ignore the fact that I really like it.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was good.
Yeah,
The
Peach
produ-
Panther is good.
Yeah, the production alone is
Dude.
it's fucking great, man.
Production is great. And I think from what I remember, it was like one dude who like did most of
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
It was like his in-house dude who did most of the album, which I totally
Two
respect.
songs by Metro Boomin though too.
Yeah.
But he kept it Texas, whatever.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, like lyrically, you know how I feel. I like lyrics, but I understand at the same time that if this person is not lyrical, there's something else they're
Yeah,
contributing.
appreciate
He's-
it for what it is.
Appreciate
He's
it for
lyrical,
what
man.
it
No, he's
is,
crazy. He's
man.
like white 2 Chainz, man. Like you
Yes.
never know
Yeah.
what's coming out of
Yeah,
his mouth.
that's true.
He said, "My chain looks like I committed a diamond heist."
Oh
I
my
fucking
God.
love it.
Yeah, shit like that. Like, it's what we always preach here. Like, you can't if you went into that album hoping to listen to some rapidy rap shit, you just don't know what you want because you just, of course, you're gonna shit on it because that's not what you're gonna get. You gotta appreciate it for what it is, man.
Yeah, I don't think Riff Raff should be anyone's favorite rapper,
right?
But and I don't. You wrote on our sheet here, should he be taken seriously? I don't know. Did you get a sense talking to him that he wants to be? I mean,
dude, that dude. He's legit one of the only people I've either shot interviews with or produced interviews for that I don't know if he's for real or not.
Right.
Like to this day, you know what he is? He's like the hip hop, Jesus, Andy Kaufman. You just don't know. No, because sometimes like we've interviewed him in the past and he said some outlandish shit that is so funny, but you're like, this has to be an act. There's no way a human being could be this way.
Right.
And then you go, fuck, maybe it's not an act, and he. So like you're just like, is he just fucking brilliant and a genius, or is he just this like not crazy, but like, is this out there?
Right.
And then he came in the last time, and we were like, whoa, he was a lot more serious than he was the last time he was here.
Yeah, he wasn't
he wasn't saying outlandish stuff. Everything was coherent, made sense. He was answering questions, and we were like, man, it's a new Riff Raff.
Right.
And then this country shit comes out, and you're just like back to square one.
Same old stuff.
Well, I think he's really smart in like just being in the hip hop landscape way. Yeah. And I started following him on Twitter a little while ago, and like he tweets out really clever shit all the time. That makes me, rethink like what is this guy's brain like.
Right.
But yeah, we should talk about the country thing. So he posted this note on Instagram. He said, "I'm making a country album."
What's it called?
That is called.
What's it called?
Truck Stuff. Thumbs up. And Butterscotch Butts. Little thumb.
Truck
not
stuff.
Sure where the thumb goes for that
Truck
one.
Stuff.
A 5-year-old came up with that.
If he just called it Truck Stuff.
Truck Stuff and Butterscotch Butts.
Yeah. So he's going to make this
5-year-old came up with that shit somewhere.
It sounds like he has like real laid out plans here. He wants to make this album in Nashville in October. With an 8-piece band, and he says if you play fiddle, acoustic guitar, drums, anything, send me a demo. He wants original country demos. He wants to make this and do a world tour. In his mind, he is doing this. It's not a want. So
wow. So we called him.
So we know what show we have to go to.
We called him the White 2 Chainz. Is he now stepping into Kid Rock like zone?
Hope not.
You think?
Yeah, hope not.
Hope not.
And I don't like country. I'm not. I make it no secret. I do not like country. But I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. I would listen to it. I want to know if he's gonna sing. Is he gonna rap?
That's what I'm saying.
Is he gonna rap about country stuff that he doesn't really know about? Because he's from
Texas.
He's from Houston.
But still,
Houston's not a country.
Dude, that is the country
sure
music capital of the world.
No,
Nashville's
a
dude. Texas is no joke country, bro.
No, Texas, yes, but Houston is like a fucking inner city. Like Houston is where Bun B's from, Pimp C, fucking Scarface.
I'm sure he's got.
I mean, they have the down south feel, but not country. Where they talk about getting in their pickup and taking their girlfriends fucking duck hunting. I don't know what the fuck they talk about. I'm just saying, it's not. But it's intriguing.
Well, he went to a Garth Brooks concert and bought the shirt, so. He's been studying.
That's it. That makes him a pro.
Yeah.
That's all it takes is a T-shirt, man. But anyway.
I've talked about it like 2 times on the show before, but go listen to the Mike Will Made It song, Choppin' Blades. It's got Riff Raff and somebody else from Ray Shremmerd, I think. It's great. And the video is him playing a used car dealer.
Riff Raff?
Yeah.
I think I've seen that clip.
It's great. Oh, one more little thing. He really loves huskies, which I appreciate that.
Yeah, he does. I did peep his.
I've always wanted a dog that's like as close to a wolf as I can get.
Right.
So
that's pretty cool.
I like huskies.
I like huskies. They just shed too much.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And they have high energy, so you have to have someone for them to. What the fuck? This turned into a dog show. Anyway, I wonder if his wrestling stuff is put on hold or if he's gonna do.
It
both.
seemed like
I think it's gonna be on hold.
Yeah, I see. When he was here, it seemed like that wasn't his priority for him at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming the same. That it's just.
I will say one thing about him. I always expected ever since he came out. I always expected the hip hop community to kind of shit on him, especially the artists in hip hop. They fucking love him, man. Like, they all like appreciate it because they appreciate it for what it is. So.
Yeah,
I always respected that.
I always like people more too when they've gotten me to win them over, when they've won me over.
Right.
And like I'll tell you, a few years ago, I remember being here at Fuse and knowing like very little about Riff Raff, but we wrote about him here. And I remember clicking over to the image tab on Google and just looking at Riff Raff and just like shuddering. I was just, I was so against like everything that this guy seemed to be at the time. I was just like,
Was this in the Shapiro era?
God. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. Shapiro liked him.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. Shouts to Shapiro. Shapiro was a good dude.
Yeah,
I
he
miss
was a
that
dude.
David Shapiro got a new book coming out.
He won me over as well with Riff Raff. That was the first time I had to interview Riff Raff. Shapiro wrote all of my questions for the interview, and like it was an amazing interview.
Yeah,
and it was all him. It was all him. So shout out to him, yo.
Yeah,
That's
he was
dope.
the reason.
That was a good dude.
Word. All right, man. I mean, there's some crazy, crazy stuff going on in the NBA. Just to quickly recap,
You're just throwing money.
This is
Dude.
my chance to snack right now.
Yeah, you can take all of the goldfish.
But even if
you
you're not a
want.
basketball fan, like, dude, do you like just see the amounts of money that
Oh,
teams
the
are
money
throwing
is
around this
ignorant,
offseason? It's absurd. So absurd that like players who are retired are coming out like, I'm about to just
Go
come
back.
back since they're throwing money.
Why? How much has it gone up from?
Well,
what it
like,
usually is?
I mean, the Memphis Grizzlies just re-signed their point guard, Mike Conley, who's great player, not a superstar.
You've never heard of him. I never heard of him.
He's not a superstar, but he's a great player. He puts up good numbers. He's a backbone of that team. Without him, they don't do as well as they do. And I don't have the numbers in front of me. I just know he just set the record for the richest NBA contract in history.
And how much?
And
was
he's
it?
not anyone we've ever heard of, Zach.
I'm gonna bring it up right now.
So
it's,
does Nashville have its own team too?
No.
No. Okay,
No.
so Memphis is the only. Okay.
So while Juan is pulling up the numbers, just to quickly recap, Kevin Durant no longer in OKC. He joins the Golden State
the
Warriors.
Toon Squad, apparently.
Exactly. We have a whole new York Knicks team with Joakim Noah and Derrick Rose joining
The New York
Knickerbockers.
Bulls.
Okay.
The New York Bulls.
Yep.
And speaking of Bulls, Pau Gasol is no longer with the Bulls, and now he's going to San Antonio. And D Wade is going to the Bulls, going back home to Chicago where he's from.
Which has been like every time Wade's contract has come up in Miami,
Right.
this has been the rumor because he's from
Right.
Chicago and he stayed loyal to Miami. So it's almost like he's like, all right, this is gonna be like my, I just want to do it just to do it because that's where I'm from.
And how many rings does he have?
He got 3 rings.
3
man.
rings.
He got one
So-
with Shaq
Yep.
and he got 2 with LeBron.
So now he's going back home. And
So,
so that's the number.
Big money, bigger than ever, and huge.
And it's going to get
shakeups.
bigger next year.
Mike Conley, 5-year, $153 million contract. In terms of value, it's the richest contract in NBA history.
Damn.
For a player that
For-
majority of us
yeah.
have never heard of.
Get those lyrics ready, rappers.
Like,
Get those Connolly rhymes.
Chandler Parsons, who
Right.
is again not a superstar, but he plays ball. He's good. He just got an insane deal.
This is nuts, man.
Like all these players, if you hear the names that and you don't watch basketball, you'd be like, all right, that makes sense that they're paying him that amount of money. But like the names that you hear that are getting these paydays, it's like holy crap, man! Like how much money is these teams in this league making?
Right.
Like the Cavaliers owe like a stupid amount of money in luxury tax because like the NBA has a salary cap. If you go over that cap,
gotta
you
pay
have to pay the
tax.
difference
Oh,
to the league so that money could trickle down to a smaller market team so it could be fair, right?
wow.
But they don't care because they just won a championship. And they're going to keep making hand over fist because they have the most marketable player in the NBA. They just won a championship. But it's just getting pretty insane, like the amount of money being thrown around.
Now,
So-
speaking of the Cavs, when LeBron left the Cavs originally to go to Miami to play with the Big Three, people were pissed. It was polarizing. Either you loved LeBron for going to Miami or you hated him for leaving his hometown of Cleveland. Kevin Durant has been with OKC as long as OKC has existed,
Since they were in Seattle.
since they were in Seattle. And he just jumped ship to join the team that beat him in the playoffs
right.
and kept him from going.
Who had the best regular season in the history of basketball.
right?
Can't beat him.
How do you feel about Kevin Durant?
I mean, my first thought was if you're an OKC fan, like my brother-in-law is, because he was a Seattle Sonics fan, and he's loyal, like, you know, the first thing I told him was, you can thank LeBron for that shit, because he set the standard.
Right.
He got to the finals a couple of times, and he just couldn't get over the hump. A lot of it by his own, like, he choked a lot of those fourth quarter games where he could have put them over the top. But he said, fuck it, I'm going to go play with 2 other superstars and then
win.
get a fucking championship.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
If you did not criticize LeBron for that, and you were like, yo, he just wants to win, you can't just come back and shit on Durant for doing the same thing. You just
Agreed.
can't. If you shit on LeBron, but you love Durant, and then now Durant does this, you cannot just give him a pass just because he's Durant. Like, you have to, you know, it has to work both ways.
here's my thing. Here's my issue. For the last 2 years in a row, the NBA Finals has been Golden State, Cleveland. For the foreseeable future, no matter where all these other players go, it's going to be Golden State and Cleveland. Like, that's it. Like, for the next, no matter how exciting the Knicks look or San Antonio looks like they're crazy coming out of the
And they're
West,
always going to be competing.
doesn't matter. This move right here has locked them in for the next 2-3 years. I mean, he has an option after year 1, but he's going to go. They're going to go to the finals. Win or lose, he's going to come back.
I mean, it's definitely going to be an adjustment period because of the way they play ball. They're a jump shooting team. But now that you add a guy who can score inside, outside, he can rebound, he
Anywhere.
could draw fouls, he could hit foul shots. He's an elite player. He's the number 2 or arguably the number 1 sometimes, like, you know. But you just don't show up and play ball in sync. Like, it's going to take a while for them to mesh together.
Right.
But when they do, it's kind of not going to be fair. And the memes that have come out from this are, like, dude, they've come out with memes where, like, NBA 2K17, like, every player on the Warriors is a giant, and they're just playing ball on the court, and it's great, bro. I love it.
How does it make you feel like coming into the next season just as fans, feeling like it's preordained?
Well, I'm a Knicks fan, so every time I go to a new season,
You don't care.
I don't really care, and I just expect the worst.
And I'm a Sixers fan, so it's
There you go.
identical, if not worse,
Yeah.
for me. But this year, I actually took 2 years off and haven't watched Sixers basketball for the last 2 years just because we've been playing a game of tank to get high draft picks, which we got this year, the number 1 overall. We had, I think, 3 or 4 in the first night. We had 3 picks in the first round. So
Good picks, too.
really good picks. I even watched last night. I watched the Summer Pro game, so I started to see the new players that we have. So I'm excited to watch this year because they're actually putting a product out that I want to see. But I mean, we're not going anywhere. We're not making the playoffs this
Yeah.
year. Like I already know all of that stuff, and I'm watching basketball because I'm a basketball fan.
Right.
My Sixers are just gonna make me cry. If I had any type of expectations, I would cry.
I'm sorry, guys.
But I am excited to see all of these moshed up, how people gel. Like you
I'm
said.
excited to see the Knicks play with
Right.
Derrick Rose and Joakim,
Right.
and they've picked up a lot of other players that make sense. So Phil Jackson is just signing people left and right. Hopefully he knows what he's
see.
doing. Yeah, we'll see what's up.
cool.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Final thing to talk about today is the news that came out that there's going to be a new Iron Man, or I should say Iron Woman.
But it's not Iron Woman.
Yeah,
It's
mean,
Iron Man.
It's Iron. I mean, they haven't named it yet, but
They
they've said,
haven't?
like,
I thought they did.
No, not today, but the news came out yesterday that the new Iron Man, Tony Stark, is gonna pass on the Iron Man suit, or just
Right. The Reigns.
the new Iron Man is gonna be a woman, and she's gonna be a black woman,
A teenager, a girl,
teenage
let's
black
say.
woman.
Yeah.
which is awesome.
I don't know what kind of woman all these people think a 15-year-old is. Every
Right.
That's
headline,
true.
but
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah. So she's an MIT 15-year-old student who's like a prodigy, and I guess she reverse engineered Tony's suit and
Yeah.
figured it out. And now
Like
he's,
in a dorm room, she
Right.
made it.
and now he's like clocking her the way he's clocking Spider-Man in
Right.
the movie, and he wants to figure out what she's about. And I guess by the end of Civil War
Yeah.
II, the comic.
And this is like
She's taking the
another
spot.
thing where the movement where, for so long, comics was just,
Yeah.
it was just white superheroes left and right.
Mhm.
And then
Right.
little by little, more contemporarily, like, with Miles Morales and the new Ms. Marvel, who, I think this is awesome. Everybody who's like shitting on it or mad just doesn't read comics because it's been introduced in the comics first. It's not like they're like, oh, we're just
Right.
going to put this black character in this
Right,
Iron Man suit. Like, it's in the comics first, and that's my biggest pet peeve of people shitting on an announcement like this. Is it's mostly people who don't read the comics who are just like on the surface, follow like headlines and shit.
Right.
Because the same thing happened with Miles. Same thing happened when Thor was, it's a female now.
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. I think it's great.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. There's gonna be plenty of white dude superheroes.
Yeah, like that's never gonna go away.
As in the real world, they are not gonna lose their jobs.
Yeah,
exactly.
But I think it's great because it opens up, for more. I think a big reason a lot of comics and stuff like that isn't prominent in the black communities because they don't have anyone to identify with.
Exactly.
Now, you have Miles, you have
Black
Riri.
Yeah, Riri Williams is
Which
her name.
that's the only part of it that
I hate that
just
name.
and in this day and age you
Bad
cannot
girl
tell
Riri.
me it's not inspired by Rihanna. There's just
Exactly.
no
Right.
way. I don't
can't.
care what Brian Michael Bendis says, who I fucking love because he's written some of the greatest shit I've ever read.
Oh,
Who
really?
is that? That's the writer.
He's
of
the
this?
writer, yeah.
What is he? Black, white?
He's a white guy. There's
I
nothing
saw
you
a
can.
comment that said, "Congratulations, guys! Iron Man is now a black woman written by a white guy." Pretty interesting.
Well, take what you can get,
Look.
I guess, for now.
I mean, Black Panther's written by a black guy at least.
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't look. I'm not going to read it, so I don't
Yeah.
give a shit. But I also don't. I also don't care about like the gender bending and like the race swapping, and I don't care about none of that stuff. I think it's great. I think there's a whole new generation of people that are grabbing it, like you said, or want to be able to identify with it.
Do people get upset that, this, I'm assuming Civil War II is like a huge thing. By the way, we're talking about a comic here throughout.
Yeah.
Do people get upset knowing that this is going to turn out this way?
That kind of sucks
It's like,
because it'd be cool to see it at the end.
yeah.
But I think they want to get out in front of it.
Yeah.
And they want to draw more attention
to
to Civil War II.
right.
It's like it's the new practice, man. You give away shit, you spoil shit just to get people to watch it.
Uh-huh.
Because nowadays you're gonna get your shit spoiled anyway. Let's
Might
be
as well
real.
be you.
Might as well be you,
Right.
and you control how it's put out.
Right.
And it's not like you know how it's going to all play out. Right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You don't know everything, man.
Exactly.
Have you been reading the book?
Yeah, I'm reading like just the Civil 2 run. There's like there's Civil 2 X-Men, there's Civil 2, Civil 2, Jesus. Civil War 2 like X-Men, Civil War 2 Kingpin, Civil War 2 Captain
wow.
America, like cuz it all intertwines and
Right.
each of these comics tell the story of that character's
Right.
point of view only.
Okay.
I'm just reading the main Civil War 2 story arc, but I'm also reading the Spider-Man Miles Morales run, so that is going to intertwine with it. So, so far I'm digging it. I don't think it's like groundbreaking, but it's not bad either. This actually makes it more compelling for me because now I want to see how it happens.
All right.
So yeah,
Cool.
good stuff. All right, what are we
We
doing
got-
this weekend?
What?
I'm ready. I'm gonna try to spend more focus time with the designer, even though that might be a foolish practice to make yourself
dare
focus
you.
on it.
How dare you?
No, it's good. And Esteban, I was listening back to our show, and your comment about the production is it's the production is serious for
It's
sure.
so
that's
good.
that's the big draw.
It's fantastic. You don't know what the fuck he's saying.
I keep listening though, and about halfway through, I'm like, I not because I don't like it, but I'm just like, should I listen to another 15 minutes of this? But,
Right.
But I'm gonna keep going with it. Somebody who's on Future's free band gang label, his
Free band,
name's
free
Zoe Dallas. He just came out with a mixtape called Porta Prince, and he's rapping in Creole on it a little bit. Future has 2 good songs over there.
And all they speak is Creole.
Future shouts him out and calls him ZD, which was me
Zach
first.
Dion.
So I'm happy I got a nice Future tag now.
Right. You should
Um,
drop that in the beginning of all of your interviews.
Yeah, it's a little too flagrant for
ZD.
me to throw it in,
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah, that's what I got.
All right. Well, I'm gonna be listening to this crit.
Me too. Sorry, forgot about that.
Yeah. That's all.
Yeah,
That is all.
yeah. Enjoy.
I'm definitely gonna be listening to K.R.I.T. I don't know why, but I'm intrigued about this new Snoop Dogg shit. I don't know. why.
Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to hear that.
I want to see if it sounds any different than everything we've.
Now, what's
fucking heard
intrigued
from
you
Snoop Dogg.
about it so far? Because for me, it's the artwork, and it reminds me of Doggy Style. And that's
the
the
one,
only
the
reason.
artwork,
Right.
because it does remind me of the Doggy Style.
Yes.
But I haven't really. I've acknowledged Snoop Dogg like all these years, and of course all the good shit he's done. I like,
Right.
but I've never like. hey, I'm gonna get the Snoop Dogg album and just listen to the
Right.
deep cuts type shit, or like listen to it through. So it's kind of slow nowadays when it comes
Report
to
back,
music and shit and video games. So my time is like, I could listen to it. So
Alright.
I'm gonna check that out. I already been listening to the K.R.I.T since he started dropping them. I'm definitely gonna keep listening to that.
Yeah.
When I'm not listening to Kool-Aid. And Rick and Morty season 2 is on Hulu, so I'm all in that right now. So.
I loved the Snoop Dogg song last year, California Roll, with Stevie Wonder and Pharrell. It was a big single. I love
yeah.
that song. That was not like a rap song,
Right.
especially, but I love it.
Do not remember that.
Word.
Oh, and we're probably gonna be listening to the tracks 3 and 4 that Button probably is gonna drop.
Oh, yeah.
for
That'll
Drake.
be the next.
Can't wait for the
track.
full album of
Right.
Joe Budden versus Drake.
Can you imagine?
With
It's
no
just
Drake.
a compilation of just him
Yo,
just going out. Nah,
just bodying him.
he's smart enough to just stop when he knows it's just like, all right.
I don't think so.
Is
I don't
he?
think he has any.
I don't think he'll put more out until he responds. Because after that one, the only thing I could picture is making a Murder Part 2 because there's a Part 1.
Right.
But then if he just sees that there's just no, rebuttal from that
Right.
side, he'll probably stay dormant. And if this fucker does another freestyle in like a month and he does subliminals again,
Right.
then he'll come. You know what I mean? Like Joe's not.
How many you think Joe has in the chamber right now?
Oh, Joe has at least 5 more.
5 more.
Even though like he put it all out on this last one, like
Yeah, but
the
there's
zombie
more.
stuff. Like, oh, dude, it was just so good.
I've been saying that forever. I'm like, oh, this sounds like Party Next Door. Oh, this is a Mike Zombie record. Like, oh, I Love McConan. Like, I've been hearing this from him, and a lot of artists do it. We hear it with Travis Scott and Big Sean and all these other artists, 2 Chainz in the Kanye, albums. The influence is there, working around with your team, but like. Drake has been really, really, really
Come on,
doing
man.
it.
Keep going up Tuesdays, and now the weekend just hates you.
Wow.
And then the fucking come on, dude.
Yeah.
Remember, started from the bottom. It was Zombie on the track. Know who else started from the bottom? It was Zombie on the track. How come after that joint, I don't see Zombie on the track? Come on, like
All right.
it's so
All
good. Anyways,
Oh man.
that
Anyway.
wraps it up.
Let's. Feels weird burying it at the end here, but let's just say rest in peace to the dude Alton Sterling and
And the
Yeah,
dude in
man.
fucking Minnesota.
and just fuck the police, man.
She gets worse
Fuck
and
'em.
worse,
Come
man.
on, man.
Yeah, fuck this shit.
It's just bad fucking. Every day you wake up and there's worse news. It fucking sucks, man.
Yeah, call this stuff out if you have a platform or just in your family and friends, and
Right.
just
Also-
talk about it.
Like what this dude said, like, if you're gonna comment, but like if you have some type of solution that you think is right, don't just fucking comment just to fucking comment.
Right.
Like that shit just doesn't help anyone. And don't read Facebook comments because that shit just
It just will make
it's
you want to kill
the
people.
worst.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
All
See you
right,
next
John.
week.
Peace.